Greetings, everybody. I haven't done a video like this in a minute. Okay, so I don't even know what I'm going to talk about. There's a lot going on in the cosmos, y'all. Like, I don't really like doing sit-down videos anymore because I talk forever. My YouTube videos, the sit-down ones, were like stuff that I spoke about forever, and I don't even know what I want to talk about today, but you know, it all comes to me as I speak. So something's been bothering me and being a human is another level of insanity. We are all very what's the word, contradictory, right? We want people to be a specific way to us, but we don't know how to be a specific way to them. But sometimes we're also very good at allocating that specificity to certain people in our lives, which is a good thing. I believe that's what boundaries is all about, so it's a good thing. It's kind of weird because, like, the more you think about it, it's like you've been programmed to be a bitch to everybody, and then be the kindest, most open, the most loving person to the people that you care about. And understand that as a being, especially a human being, what tends to happen is because our spiritual energy and spirituality is not at the point that it should be, or what do they call it? Elevation, or energy, frequency, there we go. So your frequency sometimes isn't at the level that it needs to be Christ-like. And when I think about it, I kind of get why Christianity was formed. Yes, I understand the whole other side of Christianity, but I understand why it was formed, in a sense that currently in the world that has been created, the world that has become what it is right now, we do not have the capacity to be Christ-like. It's very difficult. It's very difficult for people to actually be nice to their neighbor, let alone a homeless person or somebody who needs you to be nice, like not needs you, somebody who needs you to show them more of your grace and kindness, and not necessarily your these words. So we have sides of us that are genuinely loving, right? And then we have sides of us that are kind of showy. And a lot of the time, especially when we're giving to those that are that have less, people tend to be very showy, right? So I mean, if you're the kind of person who gives because you understand that that's how the world works, you give to receive. In order to receive anything in your world, you need to have the capacity within you to want to give it out, right? And I don't really have the words because it's cold outside, y'all. It's just freaking me out a little bit. So my words are like so what happens is we tend to have like little bubble spaces where we can give wholeheartedly, right? And then we have little bubble spaces where we give with almost a closed fist, right? I probably spoke about it at some point, I don't know when, probably years ago. And then The problem is a closed fist can't give, a closed fist can't receive either though. So what are you doing, you know? And I get that showing the world that we're doing something should also, it should motivate people to want to do the same shit. Like you showing that you're going to spend time with orphans or animals, or that you're going to plant a tree, you know, anything that it is, it does motivate people to do it. But then also it goes back around to the fact that, are you doing it for clout, or are you actually doing it from a space or a place of a good intention? It's a lot. But the one thing that's kind of freaking me out right now is that I'm starting to be able to realize and notice how people treat other people, right? And it's like people, I guess, that I consider close. Like I don't really, I'm not trying to insult anyone, but I wouldn't entirely say I have friends, because I am very like enclosed within what I do with myself and with my family. And yes, there's a possibility to say I have friends, because obviously I do speak to certain people more often than not on social media and stuff like that. And I do actually, I care for a lot of people. I do. The difference, I think, between who I was back when I was in my 20s and maybe even early 30s was not even that I'm that far from it. But I mean like 31, 32, is that majority of the time I wanted to befriend all these people that I was friends with. I wanted to befriend the people that I cared about. I wanted to befriend the people that were probably just brought into my life for me to help. Because if you've been following me long enough, you do know that I am a healer. So I heal with my words. I heal with my presence. I heal with my hands and my touch. I heal with other tools as well that are esoteric. So what tends to happen is I will meet somebody that I actually care about and that I want to assist, right? And I will go out of my way to assist that person. Now, before, it was a thing of becoming their friend. But over time, I would notice as these people pulled away from me. And I'm like, child, am I that bad of a friend? You know, I take the time out to check on people. You know, people that I had known for years. I expected them to have the capacity to do the same, you know. And honestly, it's okay. It is okay, because what tends to happen... am I recording with the right video? No, I'm not. Let's change the quality, girls. Okay, I have no idea what's going on. Anyway, it seems like I'm recording with this screen and not that screen. So it's a lot going on. I was looking at the wrong place. Anyway, it's fine. So that's what I've realized. And you know what? Maybe I have realized this previously. I just didn't really care. Because I was never the one being treated like shit. But the more I see it, it kind of frustrates me a little bit, because I don't know how that makes me feel anymore. I literally watch people treat other people like shit continuously. Like, I've watched people like talk about the opposite sex. I've seen how people talk about, and it's like what, you know? And I get it, like, we're humans, we are supposed to experience what is going on around us and kind of put an understanding to it. It's just I think it kind of freaks me out hearing how people speak about other people, because what if that's going to be me next? What if I'm your next target the next time I do something that offends you or whatever, you know? And instead of being able to speak to me like an adult, we're playing games. I also don't appreciate people who don't know how to greet. I don't appreciate people who don't know how to ask me how I am. Okay, like actually ask me how I am. There's people who just say how are you, and when I say I'm fine, they're like shut. They're done with it. Like that's it. But it's like, I care enough about you to check in on you, but you don't care enough to ask me how I actually am. And I am very much of a closed book, mind you, because I don't think people genuinely actually give a shit anymore. That's just me. Anyway. Oh yes, I'm in my cycle of Venus. That's the other thing I wanted to talk to you about. So, I forget what her name is. Maputi, something or the other. She's this beautiful South African woman that I've started watching the videos of. I think I started watching the videos in like December. But she teaches of cycles. Yes, cycles, right? And there are 7 cycles between your birthday of 52 days. I don't know if I spoke about this anywhere, but there's 7 cycles between your birthday and between your birthday. So your last year's birthday and this year's birthday, there's 7 cycles of 52 days. Now it's supposed to be 374 days, because the calculation of the year, if you know, you know, it's not supposed to be 365. Mara. Let's leave it. Let's leave it as it is. Doesn't matter. So in order for you to align correctly to who you are supposed to be, you are supposed to follow cycles, right? So from your birthday, you count 52 days. That'll be your sun cycle. Then the next 52 days, your moon cycle. The next 52 days, your Mars cycle. The next 52 days, your Mercury cycle. The next 52 days, your Jupiter cycle. The next 52 days, your Venus cycle, which I'm in right now. The next 52 days, your Saturn cycle. Okay? And I'll try to put up what all of these would entail. Not too much in detail, because you need to do your research yourself as well. So as I was saying, I am in my Venus cycle. I wasn't too worried about the Venus cycle because I don't really have, I don't have too many partnerships and too many friendships to be worried about. I don't have too many family members that I even talk to be worried about Venus, because Venus is obviously associated with relationships. Love, relationships, beauty, aesthetics, values, self-worth, pleasure, money, okay? And like, and you know what? It's a possibility that it kind of affected me a little more when all those planets decided to go into Aries, because Aries is my rising sign, right? So there's a lot affecting more of my personal stuff. So now that I'm in my own personal Venus cycle, and now all these planets are also in Aries, what is happening is it's making me focus on everything just a little bit more. So in terms of love, am I feeling as loved as I want to be? You know, relationships, do I feel valued? Like my values and my self-worth and stuff like that. I want people to be able to notice how important I am, because I'm important in this here, okay? I don't give a shit what you have to say. And you know, that's the thing, I'm supposed to be important to myself. I'm not supposed to be arrogant about it, of course, but I am supposed to be important to myself. I need to see myself as above everybody else, not in an arrogant way, not in an asshole way, but almost like placing yourself first, right? But yay, this is the part that pisses me off. People Or I think maybe it will have to do with a lot of shadow work. Because I understand that with myself, right? I've gone through a lot of things where people chose not to understand me. People chose not to understand me and where I was coming from. People chose not to speak to me to get an understanding of where I was coming from. And this has stemmed all the way from primary school. People have chosen to do it like that. And that's fine. I've seen it in my chart. All of them. Human design, astrology, numerology. I've seen it. It's okay. Because it's not fucking okay. It pisses me off. But I'm also like in a space where I'm just very forgiving as well. So what is happening is I'm just kind of like not focusing on that right now. I'm focusing on the fact that how has somebody treated me, in a sense. Okay, so you are this kind of person to me, right? But when you speak of other people, whether it's your family, your friends, or the opposite sex, you do not know how to speak about them well. And I understand that we all have gone through a lot of trauma, and we all are trying to like heal ourselves, and there's a lot that we need to heal, guys. Like I've been saying, as much as I am turning 35 this year, and I've been doing shadow work, been doing shadow work, but then it reminds you that how many years have you been doing trauma, going through trauma, and how many years does it take to heal that trauma? Like trauma happens like this, but healing it, I don't know if I remember the numbers correctly, but I think it takes 7 years, I believe, to completely go into a new cycle of something. So if I'm doing something, I need to work on myself almost double the time in order to be able to align myself to whatever that it is that I'm doing. So it's a lot. It's a lot. But if you need help, I am here, guys. So yes, healing actually takes so much longer than the actual trauma, and that's what a lot of people don't realize. So what we tend to do is we start healing, we start doing shadow work, we start going to counseling, psychotherapy, therapy. I don't know the difference between all of them, you know. We go to traditional healers, we go to tarot readers, we do Reiki, yoga, we start moving, we start, learning about ourselves and all of that. But we forget that it will take a long time. So unfortunately, the beautiful and most annoying part of being a human is patience. And that's something that we need to work on a bit more, because what is happening now is that we, especially as generators, if you know human design, what we do is we want to move like this, because the sacral is fast, it's fire, like the battery bunny. But there's certain things that we need to also just sit with, and for a long fucking time, we just sit with that shit and breathe. Because remember, as you grow up, every 7-year cycle is also a cycle in itself. So when you're raising a child, 1 to 7, that's the energy already of Mars, I believe, if not the sun. But that's a whole 7 years of you indicating to this child how they can be safe within the world, right? And if they don't feel safe around you, when in the hell are they going to feel safe around the world, you know? Because they need to learn what they need to learn at home in order to be able to take it out to the friend groups that they're going to create, to the workplaces that they're going to work at, to the relationships that they're going to have, and the partnerships, the marriages, and the children that they're going to create. It's a cycle. It's just a lot. But I think for me, I'm just kind of frustrated because I don't know if I am getting to the next level and people are falling away. If we're just adulting. Because adulting is painful, y'all. Adulting is tiring. Adulting is painful because we have to remember that you can't not be yourself. Being an adult doesn't mean you're not yourself. It means you're supposed to be the most yourself. The things you enjoyed as a child should be the things that you bring back when you're an adult to actually do more often and eventually, hopefully, create into careers. You can't just plop yourself into a 9-to-5 career and be like, yeah, this is me forever. Because you will be unhappy. That's literally how it works. Oh, it's literally how it works. But yeah, I think I wanted to vent a little bit. You know, like talking to myself to a camera is one of the best things ever because I know for a fact that my words heal. I know for a fact that me explaining and expressing stuff the way I do does actually help people out as well. So whether I have 1, 2, 300 views on this, I know that there will be people who can either relate or who can learn something from what I've said. So that's honestly all I want. But yeah, I don't have the energy to move my videos from TikTok to YouTube. So if you are very spiritually inclined and you want to learn from me from that part, please follow me on TikTok. It's bubbly, BUBLEE7. And then Luna's Sunflower. Hey, but I don't post on that one anymore much. But just follow it anyway. Because human design, very soon, my light bulbs and my battery is going to go like this for human design. So, yeah, just follow that as well. Luna's Sunflower .sl. I'll just write everything on the page so you can see it. But yeah, I just wanted to talk about that and just explain that there's a lot going on. Sometimes it's not personal, sometimes it is. Sometimes it is. But the best thing in terms of oh yes, this is the advice I wanted to give. The best thing in terms of relationships that we need to do is to speak out loud the things that are going on. So you can make videos of yourself. You don't have to put them anywhere. I just like putting my stuff out there because I know for a fact that I do assist people. I just also want to hear my own shit online. I know it's weird. Where does that come from? Is it my Saturn in Aquarius? It probably is. And then also writing down. So speak out loud, whether you go to a forest and shout, go to the sea and shout, cleanse, clear out the energies that you're holding onto, the things that are making your shoulders feel heavy, writing out that letter to the people. Just write out letters. I'm very much of a writer and a speaker and stuff like that, and that has a lot to do with my sidereal stellium. So if you check, sidereal is a sign before. So in sidereal astrology, I'm a Gemini stellium and a Sagittarius stellium, and it makes so much sense. But I still love myself being Cancerian stellium and Capricorn stellium and Leo stellium. So yeah, that's what I wanted to say. I think I'm going to talk forever if I keep talking, honestly. Otherwise it's going to be more shit, and then I'm not going to be able to post it because it's going to be longer than 30 minutes. What the fuck? It's fine. Anyway, I hope you can get tidbits from what I just said. Just write out your feelings, especially if you feel trapped, if you feel like you can't really talk to anyone. Just write about it, and then burn the paper if you really want to release. If you want to keep it with you for a little bit so you can actually look at it and process, that's also fine. But the best thing is always to burn the shit you write so you can release it. That shit needs to go back into air. Moya. Umoya. You know? It needs to go back to spirit, to where it comes from. Like the ideas. When they come in, you either utilize it or it goes to somebody else. I get? Yeah. That's what I wanted to say. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you are keeping warm on these weird cold days because it's going down.